Bringing our attention back to the security camera from that interesting scuffle that just occurred is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. This is exactly what I meant when I said Texas alien. He's clearly from another planet that he's calling Texas. Yeah, I was gonna say that there ain't no way that has any resemblance to reality. The days in Texas are long and your tempers are weary. Could you sum up what you had to say in 8 words or less? Very well. Hold on, like, I gotta count in my head. Wait, does very well count? Wait, hold on, wait. Oh, shit. That's more than... Oh. Fuck. I guess I've run out of rope. Sorry about that. You can clearly be seen in this video. There we go. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. You should consider slam poetry. You should write haiku. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with a white cloth sticking out? That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Just straight chilling on it while it slowly pans back. Oh, the white cloth. It's gone. I can't believe he did a disappearing act. He's a magician? What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? It's not magic. When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. It's magic! No. It's sus. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? 'Cause you are. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He is dumb. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker? Now prove it. Alright, fuck, I'll draw, I guess. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today, but I guess your ears were plugged, or you were somewhere else. You were having some more vongole sepia noodles or whatever the fuck. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Yeah, you think knowing basic facts about your job equipment would be essential for daily life, but what do I know? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Which is like, but that, like, to me, that's fucking crazy, because Gumshoe if Gumshoe knows about them, then how the fuck are you sitting here and being like, oh, well, I don't care, I don't know, I guess, I don't pay attention to anything, I don't know jack about shit, and, Like, clearly there had to be some kind of briefing, right? There was some kind of meeting or something where they sat everyone down. It's like, hey, just so you know, this is how your lockers work, or else Gumshoe wouldn't know. So I'm assuming that he just must have fucked off. You know, I really do wonder about that, because that's twice in the series that the term comes up. Someone's got a hankering for some clams. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! I mean, that would have made it 9. You failed. Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. Okay. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay! Please answer the question! What is he now, a bullfighter? Gonna start waving a red cloth around? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Yeah, we just gotta use our brains. We're smarticles. We're smarticles particles. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. I'm not sure I like where this is going, Mr. Wright and his answers for these things, but we have no choice but to indulge him at this point. That's right. You have to listen to me. You have to listen to me as I spell out the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? I'm getting tripped up by them using the V in case to, because that would be Meekins, right? So, no? Okay. Officer Marshall was standing right here. Okay. Yeah, it made me so confused, because I'm like, but I'm thinking, because we're thinking about the video, it's like, no one died in that video. It's like, wait a minute, you're using the killer and victim indicators, but we're not talking about an actual murder that we saw. So Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's almost as credible as Meekins' warp theory. Okay, what? So I'm sorry, he's the victim? Alright, fine. Alright. I'm so confused by this diagram. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, oh my god. Oh, that's the whole, okay, fine. This gets so into the realm of abstraction that you forget what we're even fucking talking about anymore. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous! Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene! Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. That's not a face you forget easily. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir! Yes? And how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. The thing that's really tickling me about this whole portion of the trial is how Edgeworth barely has anything to say. Like, he's just fully in for the ride. He's like, okay, explain. Okay, I don't get it. Keep going. I'm just gonna keep listening. I have nothing to say. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Probably. One hopes. Honestly, I can't say I have a huge amount of confidence in our police force, but that's the idea, at least. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? As a matter of fact, I sure diddly darn don't. You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? What's that? Can someone explain to me what that is? I think he's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as a victim. Huh. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Actually, I just heard you complain. That counts as a complaint. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as a victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. We're not in a desert! This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. Because nothing else can be. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's watch the goddamn video one more goddamn time. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. They really are like sticks. Wow, what the hell's with those heels? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? And actually communicate information to us rather than just dance around in vagaries? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. No. I'm never happy. My life is one unending parade of misery. I am entertaining thoughts of ending it because it's just too painful for me to cope with the realities I face. Nevertheless, you may continue. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Great, thank you. That's done wonders for my mental health. Thank you so much for that, Officer Marshall. Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. It seems the time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So, the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. He's a kebab? It was way too much blood for such a small donation. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? Think about it for 2 seconds. The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with a transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over! But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine! But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. Yeah, it just hit me in the feels like, oh, fuck. Yep, that's why it's so fucking emotional. Oh, man. This whole thing's so rough. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. That's a funny definition of returning it, but I guess, sure. Yeah, so the ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Always has been. Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what I expected. Aw, so you knocked Officer Meekins out and... So, you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was being passed the fuck out. So what you're saying is on that day... But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. That don't mean I'm gonna answer, though. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID? Injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. You have a weird definition of forgiveness, but okay. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Come on, they gotta eat. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I need to get some popcorn. This should be good. But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is that he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I better take another look at the files. Yeah, that'll do it.